lied. I'm reading through all the 31 texts now. I'm confused why she always was at his house. She was staying with him. Mommy's on the live. Let me see. This is the first I've seen you live. Yeah, I've only been live a couple times. Hold on. Somebody's sending things. Okay. I didn't know we can put mustaches. This is fantastic. Somebody would love to come on for podcast for reckless driving. If you guys, I plan on doing the podcast for a while now. If you guys, anybody out there wants to be on the show, you can email me at thebigsisterunhinged@outlook.com. And I will gladly review your emails and see if I can fit you in, either see what we can do about an interview. Do you believe she don't remember what happened? I do not. I think she knows exactly what happened. She knows exactly what happened. We all know she knows exactly what happened. She is nothing but a narcissistic liar, as you all have seen what you've seen. But yeah, nope, don't believe that for 1 second. Did you figure out why they left the party that morning? They were just going home. They had slept, they woke up. Just wanted to go home. Let me see. Can you tell us what kind of person he was? Dom was the way I describe it is the loss of Dom has completely crushed the souls of everybody that knew him, especially those close to him. So he was so entirely loved by so many people. He was an awesome uncle. He's the godfather to our children. He, we were a very close Italian family. We were a very close Italian family. He was athletic. He was funny. He was my little pal. He was amazing, ambitious, caring, loved animals. He had a beautiful, funny little voice, like nasally kind of, ever since he was young. He had bad ears when he was young. He used to have to have ear surgeries and stuff all the time. Funny story about that. One time when he was young, he had surgery on his ears, and I couldn't make it to the surgery, but I wanted to get him a gift, of course, and come and see him right after. So I went to the mall back in the day, and then they had these little frogs in like a cage they used to sell, and they were like really expensive, and I was young, but I went and got these frogs for him, me and my sister Nikki, and brought it to him for after his surgery. And they're these two cute little baby frogs, right? And he had those frogs for years, and when the frogs passed away, he had his mom hold a whole funeral for the frogs, and he made her play the Holy Grail and do a funeral, and they laid the frogs to rest. Like, he was a very caring person, and the loss of him has left a hole in us that it's unimaginable. I don't know if anybody of you guys out there have lost a sibling, but to me it's the hardest thing. I couldn't, before I lost a sibling, I always thought, like, I couldn't imagine how people could lose a brother or a sister. Like, I couldn't move on, and here I am having to live day by day with guilt and sorrow and anger, and not only that, but the way it happened, I can't even think about how it happened. That is still not registered in my mind. I tend to disassociate, keep a little out of touch with reality to protect myself subconsciously, I think. Probably not the healthiest, but that's just what I do. To me, sometimes it's like telling a story. So there's times where grief, if you've been through it before, it hits you at different times and you can't help it and you choke up. But sometimes, like, other than that, I just have found to sometimes actually, like, my brain makes me think it's a story sometimes. It's weird. My email is thebigsisterunhinged at outlook.com. Would you have a medium on my podcast? Absolutely, I would. Check out the podcast. We just had a paranormal investigator, because I do have pictures, and I'm so sorry with that video. I'm glad you brought that up. In my one of the last episodes with the paranormal investigator, I forgot to put the editor. I have an editor who's editing. I forgot to tell her to put the side by side of Dominic and my son in the picture. So I will be posting that. So keep an eye out. Watch the episode and you'll see what I mean. Let me keep reading. Has Mackenzie's family ever tried to reach out? Not since shortly after she was arrested. I have not heard from them. Sometimes I wonder if like they'll ever reach out, because I'm that type of person to, I don't know, I think it would be good for us if they started to show remorse in some way, but I don't know. They won't. They won't. Too worried about trying to say that she doesn't remember, and that's just a big fat lie. I posted a vid where I had a Spirit Box app open while watching your podcast. Has 5,000 views. Is that okay? I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what that means. Before throwing myself on social media completely and being completely vulnerable, like, I didn't even post selfies, so this is all pretty crazy to me. Yes, I just watched the episode this morning. The podcast is called The Big Sister Unhinged. I started it, and I'm glad you brought that up too. I really started it I knew this Netflix movie, like, so Dom has been dead. It'll be 4 years, July 31st. It'll be 4 years. This has been a talk. It was, highly televised then, and we remained completely silent online, social media. Like, I did one show, and that was just to like try to stick up for my brother, and I was not prepared mentally for it. I actually cried the entire time. It was the worst experience of my life. I'm having the producer of that show on my podcast here shortly. She'll be a guest on my podcast to talk about like my experience on the show. It was not a good experience. She was wonderful. The show was wonderful. It was just, and they did a wonderful job. I was just not, I sat down and they said, okay, repeat after me. I am Dominic Russo's sister. And I went to say it and I cried the entire time. I couldn't finish the sentence. I choked up. I was apologizing. I couldn't get through it. It was torturous to me. I wasn't ready. So I knew that this was coming out, the Netflix movie. I did not agree. I was asked for, I don't know if it was 6 months or a year, to do the Netflix movie. I got, emails, letters in the mail, phone calls of them asking. I said no up until the production had ended. And at the last second, I was like, you know what? Like, everybody else is able to talk about their loved ones. Like, I have to do this. I have to speak on behalf of my brother. So at the last second, I had them fly back, and I taped real quick one day with my dad. It was very therapeutic. I was able to talk about how wonderful my brother was and some feelings, and it was super therapeutic. And I really appreciate the producers that produced the movie. They were wonderful to work with. They listened to me. They respected my opinions and things like that. It's not their fault that certain people lied in the movie. Okay. I wanted to get that clear. I started the podcast because, I had a feeling that this movie was going to be this big. Like, they kept saying, they're putting it out in a bunch of countries, and, here's a therapist to get ready for it, and maybe shut off your social media. And I'm like, I knew, I had a feeling it was going to be, but I didn't know it would be the number one, like, movie in the world, or that how actually crazy that this has went. Because it's like a nightmare, but at the same time, the whole world knows who Dom's name. You know what I'm saying? Like, how lucky are we that, our sibling passes and the entire world right now knows his name. it's bittersweet. Anyway, started the podcast because I knew, our family has been dealing with internet trolls and misinformation and liars for the last 4 years. So with this movie coming out, one day I woke up and I was like, I called my cousin Becky. I said, Becky, do you know anything about podcasts? Because I've never watched one. I've never heard one. I said, but I need to start one because I need to protect my brother's image, our family's image. I want to battle the misinformation head on. I'm sick and tired of us being helpless, laying back and letting the internet just say whatever they want about my brother. You should see some of the nasty things that these trolls say. It's unbelievable. Thank you all for sticking up for us in the comments. I can't express how thankful I am, and our family. Everybody is so thankful for the support. It's so hard as we're a bigger family, but as just a family to combat millions of people and their comments, and you guys have taken over and helped with that. But that's why I did the podcast, was to stop the spread of misinformation about my brother. I was able to give, now I have a platform to where I can give my family a voice. Like if my dad's like, here's another thing, that 2:53 thing, you guys, in the movie, Dom texted my dad at 2:53 in the morning, and I wonder if I can share my screen. I don't know if he'll be upset with me. I have the text that Dom sent. I'll talk to him about showing it to you guys, and also the conversation with Dom, his whole conversation, because I want to point out where we go back and forth with my dad. I'm one of 7. We have a beautiful, caring, strong family that loves each other very much. We go back and forth with my dad. I love yous randomly. He'll text us and his nieces and nephews, his children, random times, I love yous, and we do that back. That night, actually, that Dom passed, it would have been that morning, I texted my dad at 1 o'clock in the morning, I love you, Dad. Dominic did it at 2:53. It is not uncommon. It was not some kind of conspiracy theory. There's all these conspiracy theories now about like, he knew it was coming, or did that have, was it some type of, I don't know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories about it. I just wanted to, I'm going to talk to my dad first because I don't want to put his private messages with my brother. It's been hell, to put it in a light way. Like, this has been this has ruined all of us. So I want to ask him first, but I will put it out there that I just want everyone to know that 2:53 thing was not a big deal, but there's a lot more, just a lot of misinformation, and it was made for entertainment. I thought they did the best that it had to be entertaining. I get it. They're trying to make money, Unfortunately, it's the loss of Dom, but like I said, it's bittersweet because to me, and there's other family members and siblings that don't agree with me and that they're private and don't agree, but to me, I don't know, I kind of like the fact that the whole entire world knows his name. I think he deserves nothing less. It's like, God, my brother would have the whole world. Like, he deserved that. Like, the whole world knowing who he was, buzzing by. You know what I'm saying? So, but some of my family is very private. I put out something today about TMZ. They just posted my mom finding out. Well, she's my stepmom. Sometimes I call her my mom, but just to make it simple, they posted my mom, Dom's mom, finding out when Dom with that body cam. TMZ posted that, and I just thought it's so distasteful that I couldn't believe that they would post something so insensitive and terrible. It's everybody's, it's a mother's, it's anyone's, it's the worst thing something could happen to someone, and I can't believe I was so upset. They have not taken it down yet, so if you guys can go on my TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube and tag them and tell them to take it down, I would really, really appreciate that. I would really, really comments again. My podcast is on YouTube, full episodes on YouTube, or you can go on Facebook. We started posting some stuff. I've never even listened, like I told you guys before, I've never even listened to podcasts. But I just made one. I'm just trying to do my best, I guess. Yeah, it's a free podcast. It's YouTube. Um Talk to a medium. Yeah, I've been before. I would like to I've gotten messages. I've been so busy trying to keep myself busy. I got to slow down and read more of your guys' messages. I'm getting millions though, but I'm trying. Thank you. She said Rosie blocked me because I was talking shit to her. Yes, thank you. The last time I went to a medium was right after Dom passed with our mom and my sister, and they talked about Dom being. They didn't say his name, but I wasn't crazy about it. It was like one of them psychic fairs, and it wasn't that great. And it was something about like a boy sitting in heaven with a lost dog, and then obviously it was Dom. I don't know. It wasn't the best, but if you guys have really good mediums, I would 1000% appreciate you messaging me their information. Dom played basketball. I eventually want to do with this, I want to send a portion of what I make from the podcast. I'm going to start a foundation for basketball. I went to every one of Dom's games, basketball and football, his entire life. He played for the Rec, and like I was at every game. I was a great big sister. I am a great big sister, hence the name, the Big Sister Unhinged. But I that was a big thing with us, is me making it to every one of his games, and that was the best time for me and him. And then I would pick him up on the weekends. I was a lot older than him, and we would hang out and stuff, but like me making it to his games was very special. So I eventually, like, I want to, if I get any funds from the podcast, I want to start a foundation for like domestic violence awareness in teenagers, and I also want to do something with basketball. Nobody is doing good. Somebody asked how my family is, and the answer is not good. We are actually very, very bad. I do appreciate you asking. You could only imagine. Hey, Zach. Did I ever meet Davion? No, my dad had just met him the night before. He was like a newer friend. When Kenzie says in that stupid, or Kenzie's mom says in that, at the end of the trial, he was a newer friend. I did not get the chance to meet him. But I do see his sister now, and I love the Flanagans. I feel a very strong connection with them. We formed like a really nice bond. They are wonderful people. They did not deserve this. Davion did not deserve this. It's very hard, you guys, to, like, I used to watch true crime, and ever since it happened, ever since I started living a true crime episode, basically, I lost all interest in true crime, especially around my brother's case. Like, I don't watch my own anything about him. I don't know anything about the girls in prison. I haven't watched any of their stuff. I don't know anybody who's covered my brother. I just started reviewing the calls because I had to for the podcast. Like, I have stayed so far away from it. It is so unbelievably difficult. And I was talking about I forgot what I was talking about before this, but basically why I started the podcast. I'm getting a lot of, the second the podcast blew up, I started getting a lot of trolls and hate, especially over Facebook. TikTok's been all right. Instagram's been fine. YouTube's good. But Facebook, these comments that people say about me, my brother, my family, I don't know where there's things that are being said are so hateful. It's made me want to stop what I'm doing, but my family, a bunch of my family members they're relying on me and counting on me to set the record straight. I swear to God. So I can't stop. If anything, I'm just going to go harder. Can I cash app you? No, I don't. I really appreciate it. I do have a GoFundMe, and I'm not asking for handouts, but I have had people ask if they want to like send flowers or help out with podcast expenses. I do have a GoFundMe set up. I'm not asking for it or anything, but somebody asked. But there was I've had to hire. I've been so busy with this. I had to hire like a nanny. I have 2 kids. I'm by myself. Um, completely by myself. I get no help, no financial help, no support, no nothing. All by myself and doing this, working full time. I have 2 giant German Shepherds that are super demanding, 2 beautiful kids. The stress of Dominic being gone, having to deal with especially my dad grieving, my siblings grieving, like it's hard. So I hired a nanny and that only lasted a couple days. She didn't want to come back, but like we'll give it another shot. If anybody has a good nanny in the Cleveland area, I need help. um Phone charger. I didn't realize I was going live. I was actually sitting down for the first time in a week, and then I was like, you know what? I'll go live. Yeah, drop me some babysitters if you have them. So anyways, give me some good questions. I'll answer some questions. Wait, they're going fast. Why are people saying Dom was a big time drug dealer? I don't know. And I think it's because Dom had a lot of nice things and money, and it's some of my family members are very private. So there's certain things I won't talk about my mom, and I won't talk about a couple of my siblings because they have chose to stay out of the public light. And with the loss of Dominic, I can do nothing but respect that. So people say that because I think it's because he had nice things and a nice car. He lived next door to his mom. His mom owned the house, so it's not like he had his own house, but he worked with the stock market. When that AMC went up, if you guys remember in 2020, he had that stock. Like he was doing great for himself in a completely legal way. So if you see that rumor, shut that down. People are saying the most crazy things. Now, you guys, I know you've heard the internet runs wild and there's misinformation, but when it's your brother who's not here anymore, you can only understand how infuriating this is. I'll shout it out again. Oh yeah, Landon and Rosie, who were in the documentary, I always will say that those are not Dominic nor Davion's. They are not their best friends. They're Kenzie's friends. So a lot of the stuff that they say all over the internet, and they have for years, and that these Facebook group pages for years have talked mad crap about my brother and our family. So after 4 years, I finally decided, like, a lot of pushback for it from some people. Like, I really appreciate the support, and I'm not going to stop. I am a big sister. I am one of 7. But that's my job. And it took me a while because I'm grieving, and I still am, but I don't have a choice now. When the whole world is running, talking about your brother, you're going to I had no choice. It was either talk out or sit back and watch the world say very, very terrible things about you, your family, and your brother who's no longer here to defend himself. So that's what I chose to do, was speak out. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to turn this into, like I said, I'm going to bring awareness towards teenage domestic violence, red flags to look for in teenagers. I'm going to start a foundation for basketball. I'm going to start Dom's Law so she can't be in the next Gypsy Rose. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'll do it all. Now, granted, I have a little bit because she's going to remain in prison. She did just file another appeal. We got that in the mail like last week. It's on my podcast too, but she's constantly trying to get out. I don't know what her basis is this time yet, but it's probably some more baloney that there's something about, I just saw something about being charged with curfew. I don't have a curfew. I'm 37 years old. She didn't have a fair trial. All right, Lauren Center. I don't know if I can call you out. Whatever. She didn't have a fair trial. So what do you mean she didn't have a fair trial? My stepmom is an attorney. They were so careful about there being no conflict of interest and about it being so fair. They were overly careful because my stepmother, Dom's mom, is an attorney. You would be an idiot to think that they would throw this out for some kind of technicality, like it was a highly publicized murder trial. You better believe it was fair. She is where she belongs. So get out of hop out. I'm so over. I'm sorry, morons. Next, Gypsy Rose, best comparison. Yeah, I have to go and get a phone charger. I'll be back though. Gypsy Rose, best comparison. Yeah, I have to go and get a phone charger. I'll be back though. Yeah. I am back. Going to be reading more comments. Let me see. Sorry, I gotta charge this. Did it work? Yes. 1% for the save. Okay. I'm gonna keep reading more comments. How do I feel about all the psychic readings? I haven't seen many. Check out my YouTube though. I just posted a video with a paranormal expert for some really crazy photos that I have at the cemetery. Can I talk to you guys about that actually? We all appreciate all the support. My brother's grave is like it's not your average grave. It's a beautifully kept memorial that's like 10 feet by 4 feet. It is filled with flowers and custom flags, and I make custom wreaths, for Christmas and Easter and Halloween and Valentine's Day and Memorial Day. We switch out all the stuff. We redo the flowers. It still looks like it was newly or freshly there. But it's a very more of a private place to be. Anyways, I guess there's been an issue with people coming to the cemetery and looking for his grave, and when certain family members who are more private and not ready to speak to strangers about this, I guess people are going to there and not running up on them. I don't want to be insensitive because we appreciate the support, but people are at the cemetery trying to talk to certain family members who aren't ready to talk to certain family members who aren't ready to talk. Sorry, I got a text message to talk to strangers about it. I can talk about it. I am like the family. I'm the big sister. I'm the family manager. You guys have probably heard that before. They have like memes like the older sister thinks she's the boss of the family. I am the boss of the family. But I just wanted to I didn't want to be insensitive, and I do appreciate everybody's support, but just the one thing I'm asking is just not to go to the cemetery. That's the one place that some of our family members have to be like alone there. It's sacred. So appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. I'm new to going live and things, but I just wanted to say thank you for it looks like all these gifts and things. I have yet to learn how to work TikTok. Before this, I might have. I don't even know if I don't. I don't know much about it, and I haven't had time to learn, but I'll learn it. Apparently, she's not been behaving, which won't help her appeal. I think she's just a flat out psychopath, and I don't think she'll ever get out. Again, I gotta say, yeah, she didn't have a fair trial. That's hilarious. She needs to get her sentence per life she took. The sentence that she got was just a slap in the face to the families 15 years is absolutely nothing. 15 to life. Granted, she might not get out for a long time, but like, it is a complete slap in the face to us. All right, let me read more of these comments. Keep them coming. Thank you all for these gifts and the comments and all the support. I don't see anything too negative. I appreciate that. It has been terrible. I'm not used to when people say, like, you know, having your life be in the public eye or something. I can't believe how crazy this all is, actually. I love the support, but not all the family members are like, you know, a lot of people in my family are super private. I'm different. I find this therapeutic. And I'm a go-getter. So it's like, I want to do this foundation. I want to get a big, beautiful cement bench by the rec center. I was just telling everybody that I went to every single one of his basketball and football games at the rec. And I really want a big, beautiful rec bench outside of the rec with like his name on a plaque. I have things that I want to do. I want to protect his name. That's why I'm doing the podcast. If you guys check out the YouTube, there's full episodes there and things. I'm trying to battle all this misinformation. I was telling everybody, I'm just filling you guys in. Was talking about the 253, how that is something not uncommon for my dad and my siblings and myself. We tell each other we love each other at random times all the time. I had texted my dad that same exact night at 1 a.m. that I loved him. It is not uncommon at all. There was something else. So I talked about that. I talked about please not going to the cemetery. It's a private place for our family to grieve. Like, that's the one thing that we're asking to keep private. Also, if you guys could keep sharing and helping me establish my platform, I would really appreciate that. I always said when I started this, I just want to have a voice big enough to be louder than the Sharillas and all of her evil minions and these trolls online. My goal is to make a voice, to make a platform that we can have our voices heard. You could only imagine after, I don't know if you guys have siblings, I'm sure you guys have siblings out there, but we have a close family. So the loss of a sibling, like, could you imagine having your brother murdered and then sitting back, having it all televised, and sitting back and having the entire world say terrible things about him and about your whole entire family, and sitting back and not being able to do anything. One of my brothers, it drove him absolutely crazy, reading comments. Like, I'd have to remind him stop reading these terrible things. Thank you guys all for the your gifts on this. I see everything popping up. Thank you so much. Like I said, a big portion of this is going to go to creating a bench for Dom at the rec center where I used to watch him play basketball. I want to do something with like sponsoring basketball teams. My son's a big basketball player. And I also DM him about a document proving Kenzie's dad said it was intentional to a cop. If you guys are sending me stuff and I'm not responding, there are tens of thousands of messages right now. And so much so that my phone is constantly going off, that everything is just getting hidden. So I am sorry. I will look again. And I've hired a team too to run my social medias a little bit, because I can't get to it all, and I am trying my hardest, but I appreciate it. I do have people helping me look and organize and try to block some of the bad comments. So I'm just doing my best, but if I miss it, you can always send it again. Please keep gathering info for her parole. Oh, yeah, we will, and she should know that. But I mean, listen to the calls. They're terrible. I'm sorry for you. Thank you. I appreciate all of your guys' support. I will be going live, you guys, Sunday with Kat and Cheyenne, who were in prison with Mackenzie. I'm going to be interviewing both of them at the same time. So make sure you tune in, 8 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, I have not paid attention to anything regarding my brother's case online up until recently when I started the podcast. So I have not heard anything they've had to say. You guys probably know more. I know you know more than I do. I haven't paid attention to it. So I'd like to see what they say. I talked to Kat briefly. She called me the other day. And we spoke briefly, and she seemed like, the worst part about it is, I feel like that Kenzie just doesn't care about him whatsoever. Like, she just doesn't. She shows no remorse, obviously, but like, it's the saddest thing that she just doesn't care about him. Like, she don't miss him. She doesn't speak about him great. Like, and that's all I wanted to hear. I wish I would have heard like she, was sorry in there or missed him so much, but there's none of that, and that's all that really stuck out. Another thing with Steve being put on leave from his position. I keep getting asked, what were your initial thoughts? I did put out a reel, and I would like to talk about that, but my initial thoughts were, it's sad. The whole situation is terribly sad. I wish my brother was still here. I wish Davion was still here. But unfortunately, she is a psychopath. They raised a psychopath. I've not heard great things about them, and what I've witnessed from them over the years is not good either. I wish they weren't like that, but unfortunately they are. And to me, when I found out, that was just sad to me. They must be. I'm very empathetic. So, my first thoughts were, wow, their daughter's in jail for murder. They raised a murderer. That has to be tough, and then losing his job, like, or being put on leave, that's got to be, I just feel bad about the whole thing. I wished it never happened. God, I would give my every limb to turn back the hands. I'd give my life. I'd give my limbs. I would do anything imaginable just to rewind time to July 30th, 2022. The pain has been, losing Dom it's been unimaginable. If you've lost a sibling or a child, would be similar, but like, it has crushed us from head to toe, from morning to night. Everything we do, every holiday, every birthday, like, nothing will ever be the same. And there's I think it's Billy Bob Thornton that has I saw like a short clip of something, and his brother must have passed, and he said something along the lines like, I will live in pain forever because my brother deserved that. I'm gonna get sad, 1 second. So that's kind of like how I can relate to that, because I feel like I want to live in the pain, I guess, because Dom, he deserves that. I don't know. It's just, grief is weird. I feel like if I didn't have this pain, like, I wouldn't care about him or something. It is the most terrible feeling in the world. I'm going to read some of your guys' comments. What are your thoughts on the body cam of the supposed word she killed us during her arrest? Check out my podcast on YouTube. There's a full episode. I have a paranormal investigator, an expert of over like 10 years, who does all these paranormal own show and stuff, and he just reviewed and confirmed some things. Check out the podcast on YouTube. It's The Big Sister Unhinged. Thank you guys so very much for all of your gifts that you are sending. I appreciate every single nice comment. 1 second. What is this? Sorry. Did I speak with Davion's little sister? Yes. If you look at the podcast, I also have a full episode and a sit down with Divine Flanagan. She is the most beautiful, sweet girl in the entire world. It was really nice to sit down and us talk. We sat and talked for hours. Blair is Dom's best friend. Blair is a male. Yes, Blair is a male, and Blair is one of Dom's best friends, that's for sure. He is an amazing, amazing kid. I love him dearly. I love all Dom's friends very, very much. Everybody's asking about Dom's mom. She is private and she is not ready to talk. You can't imagine how messed up this has been for us. I can disassociate where some of my family members cannot. They can't talk about without crying. Like, I can shut it off a little bit. I am the family rep, but she is not ready, and she will never will be. You couldn't imagine. The loss of Dom has completely ruined us. Cheryl, God bless your family. Thank you so much. Somebody keeps sending a cardinal. I really appreciate that too. We love cardinals. I believe in the signs from Dom. Have you heard the prison calls? On my podcast, I start to review them. I have not listened to them, but just for a few minutes. They're disgusting. I've heard clips. But on the podcast, once I get time, right now I'm trying to battle all the misinformation, but I will eventually start reviewing. And I am going to pivot, you guys, with the podcast into grief and sibling loss, trying to help other people feel better. I want to bring awareness to domestic violence, especially in teens. I'd like to go to high schools and talk to kids about toxic relationships and the warning signs, what to look for. If I could even help one person, it would mean the world. Like, if anything positive could come out of this, I am ready to designate my life into not, in for the cause. So that's where I'm going with the podcast. You are beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm tired. Can you do ASMR? Oh my god. I'm screenshotting that. Noises? That's funny. I am the voice. Thank you. Why won't she tell the truth? Narcissist. Narcissists they don't tell the truth. They can't take accountability. Sociopath. Look up the definition. Come textbook. Someone said that Dom could have caught Mackenzie up messing with other guys, including Davion. They were breaking up. No, Davion and her weren't a thing, but they were breaking up off and on. They were off and on for quite some time. So the fact that, I have seen I have seen some of the case files. So I sat through the trial. Obviously, I've seen part of the case files. My cousin Becky, my little co-host and my helper, she points things out to me so I don't look at things I don't want to see or that I shouldn't see. So she'll point little things out to me. One of them was a text message where Dom says something about her selling herself. So, and her family, what is her family going to think when they find out? And my cousin was like, isn't that motive? I don't know. There's so much, you guys, that the public doesn't know. And you get a portion of the story on the Netflix documentary. And yeah, like, the producers were nice and stuff, but like, there's so much more to the story. So that's what I want to set the record straight with my podcast. That's just my goal. What do I actually believe happened? I know that she snapped on Pearl Road. I think they left the house, they got in an argument, they're driving down Pearl Road. She knows that okay, so if you're driving down, I don't know, you guys most of you aren't from around here. If you're driving down this main road, right? I believe they got in a fight on that street. Now, they tried to say, so there's a cut through, right? It's a road that goes to the right. Now, the cut through would actually have been the road she took, Progress Drive, actually would have taken her longer to get to Dominic's house than if she would have taken Pearl Road. So they tried to say in her defense, like, that, it was a known cut through, but it wasn't a cut through. It wasn't a shortcut. It was actually a longer ride than if she would have just went straight. So it didn't make sense. So I have a feeling, I pretty much know that they got in an argument And I think she snapped and she turned right down that street and just floored it. And then at the very last second, we know what happened. But that's what happened. Why didn't they jump out of the car? My thought is because I think that they didn't think that she was actually going to slam into a wall and kill them. And I've had a couple people come to me after and say, that's happened. That's happened to me, Christine. I had a girlfriend one time and she flipped and was driving and tried, pretended to try to smash the car or stop the car in the middle of the highway. People have told me that now. And I think I would have thought that she would have, I don't know, put yourself in their shoes. Pretend like she's going 90 miles an hour. You would think that, I think they thought probably like she was going to stop. I don't ever think that they thought that she was going to actually, I think they were waiting for her to stop. You know what I'm saying? And even, let's say if this is happening to you and you're going 100 miles an hour, imagine how scary that would be in that short amount of time to try to throw the car into park or jump out of the car. I'm thinking we're assuming she was going to stop. You know what I'm saying? You don't really think that somebody's going to murder you, or that, you don't think that. So your son David used to go to my school. We were in the same grade. Aw, hi. Chloe, is that Chloe? If so, I think I might remember you. My ex liked to pretend to swerve in the other lane. Okay, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Usually no cars were passing, but they could have. Exactly. They just went numb. Exactly. Could you imagine? And then it's heartbreaking to think at the last second that someone threw it into neutral. I'm thinking Dom was like, oh, and then, threw the car into neutral. But no one is actually going to sit there and think. It's a short street. And then here's another thing is the street itself is a complete windy S. It's like the curves it's insane. So it's a big windy road, right? And in order to stay on the street, she had to have maintained full control. That's why in the beginning of the trial, they don't put this in the movie. In the beginning of the trial, and you guys please share this so I can get this information out and I don't have to repeat this. Please keep sharing, liking it, whatever the terminology is with this social media stuff. I feel like an old lady. I'm not even 40. Anyways, in the beginning of the trial, this was not publicized. In the beginning of the trial, and it wasn't on the movie, and this is what I'm going to go over on the podcast too. Beginning of the trial, they actually took the judge to the road, to the street, just so she can get a sense of, you have to be fully conscious and maintain your hands on the wheel when you're going 40 miles an hour. The speed limit is I think it's 35. And going 35, 40, you have to maintain full control because it's so windy. It's like you're doing a race car thing going 40. So if she said she passed out like she did, going 100 miles an hour, there is no physical way, and they had experts all over the place to debunk all the defense and things like that, but there's no possible way that she made it down that street. And they took the judge, the first thing they did, we step into the courtroom, and we had to, just her went, and the prosecutor, and I think, her attorney and things like that. We all stayed at the courthouse because we've been down that road. But the first thing they did, right to the street, just so she could get a feel, because you have to, if you haven't been there, but try to put yourself in your shoes and imagine how it would feel like going down a windy ass road. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this, but a huge windy road going 100 miles an hour. She had to have been whipping the car and holding on, eyes on the road, pedal to the metal. And I would like somebody, if you're from the area, if you want to give it a try and see how it feels, just so you know what I'm talking about. It's absolutely ridiculous to say that she passed out. It's a flat out lie. She had to have maintained full control. The judge knew it. That's why that was the first place that she was taken, was to the crash site, just to show her how the road is. For everybody that's joining us now, welcome. Thank you for joining. I was just kind of chit-chatting and going over a lot of stuff that's happened. One being, I was asking everybody not to go to the cemetery that's not like, a family or close friends, of course, but there's been an issue with a lot of people showing up and kind of trying to talk to certain families, certain private family that aren't ready to talk, and it's a very private space. So I was trying to put that out there. Another thing I was talking about was I've seen a lot of people and articles being put out about how I felt about the Netflix, the production company. And I do want to put it out there that I was okay with the production company. I get that this was entertainment. I get that, like, true crime's a thing. I used to like it too until it became my life. But, like, I was okay with the production company. I however, am not okay with people chose to lie. People that they had in the movie, that was their choice to lie. It wasn't Netflix's fault, or it wasn't the producer's fault. So I did want to say that. And I actually, they let me preview the movie before it came out, and I got to give my opinion and things like that. And I thought they were okay. Thank you guys for sending all these gifts. But I was catching them up. Also, this Sunday I go live at 8 o'clock, and I will actually be having on the two girls that were in prison with Mackenzie, Kat and Cheyenne. Both of them, we will be going live, all three of us together. I have not heard anything that they have had to say as of yet. I don't go on the internet. I don't watch reels. I don't see what people post. I don't listen to opinions. I'm so sorry. I love the support, but it's too much for me. Like, I'm putting out this misinformation. I want to gain a platform. I want people to listen to what I have to say. I want to set the record straight. I want to protect my brother's reputation. The internet is insane with some of these things, but I started the podcast just to do that, and it's working, and people are listening, and I love that I have the ability now. We've been going through this for 4 years. We've remained silent and sat back and not had a voice in any of this, and imagine how that feels. So there was that part, and then, so I'm going to be interviewing the two girls that were in prison with her, and I've heard nothing. This will all be new to me. I talked to Kat on Sunday. I'm also going to have the producer of another show that I did, another producer on to talk about the show. There's another thing that I wanted to tell you guys, and I was going to wait and do an episode on it, but I'll just tell you now while I have 4.8 people. You guys keep sharing so I don't have to say it twice, please, because I'm starting to lose my voice all the time. Keep sharing, keep liking, and I'm gonna go over this. So I have there will be new people with this podcast. I have a couple guests coming on. One being a family that the Sharillas, they used to babysit for. I'm not going to say much because I'm going to leave it up to that family it's not on me to say certain things that they have to say that went on. But there will be an episode, and I might actually go live with her, or I don't know how I'll do it yet, but her and her children, they were babysat by the Sharillas, and they're willing to come and talk to me, and there were not good things that went on. So that will be one of the things that I go over, so stay tuned for that. Do you think Dom or Davion shifted into neutral? Yes, I think at the last second they realized, she's actually, imagine, so yeah, she was sick. She was. Hold on, let me look some more comments. I haven't seen too terrible of things being said. I really appreciate all the support. I've heard from different mediums that she knew what she was doing, that Dom was going to leave her. She was going to leave her. He was breaking up with her for over the last 6 months. Who profits from the Netflix stock? I am not allowed to say. Did y'all know she was this abusive before the accident? Certain people did. I was 13 years older than Dominic. And That was not something, and if you guys have ever been in like an abusive or toxic relationship, you will know what I'm talking about when your abuser they isolate you and then they don't let people know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you guys can drop comments if you've been through it, like if you know what I mean. But there were certain signs, like the isolation, and I've said this before on interviews and things. The isolation was a big one. Her not leaving his side was another big one. Like, and I want these kids to know that it is not healthy. I would love to spread awareness to domestic violence. I've been through it. Like, my poor little brother at the hands of an 80-pound-year-old spoiled, rotten, disgusting, terrible human being took my brother's life because of it. So you could imagine the feelings I have on wanting to raise awareness for domestic violence in teens. But another red flag was the isolation and like him not being able to do things without her. Like up in the last few months of his life was, my dad really wanted to it was like he wanted him to go to meet him at the casino or go to the races or the race horses. He does a lot of race horses and gambling and stuff, and he wanted Dom to come meet him. He was asking him for weeks and weeks and weeks, and every time he was supposed to meet him, something would come up with Kenzie, and it was like my dad would be like, Dom, like, just you come meet me. And he could never do that. It was just she was always had to be there. My dad would have me trying to get bowling for just him and him, you know what I'm saying? And this was going on until Dom died. Like, my dad was actively trying to spend more time with Dominic, and it's like, was it a subconscious thing? I don't know. But my dad told me months before, Christine, I need to spend more time with him. His words were, I'm getting old. And he was the baby, and I didn't get to spend as much time with him as all of you guys. So for months, he tried to spend more time with him. Is that not the craziest, saddest fucking thing you've ever heard? Terrible. I'm going to get sad again. So sometimes, I try not to cry, but sometimes if you guys have ever been through grief like I have, or trauma that I have, it hits you at certain times. I did, I don't know, I've been trying to do interviews like crazy, trying to get this podcast off the ground, but it is harder. It's easier said than done to not cry sometimes, especially when you lost your brother. It's absolutely terrible. So I just switched the subject before I got sad. Thank you guys so much for all your gifts. Thanks for joining us. Like I was telling everybody, I will be doing a huge live Sunday at 8 with the girls from prison. Please share and help me establish a platform. I really want to get a hold of TMZ, you guys. That movie or that video that they posted of my mom finding out Don passed was absolutely disgusting. I have not heard from them. Oh, sorry, I gotta do one of these inactivity things. Hold on, I gotta drag a puzzle piece. Okay, back in action. So anyways, what was I saying? Somebody drop it in the chat. Been doing a lot of talking. You're an amazing big sis. Thank you. Oh, TMZ. Thank you. So yeah, tag TMZ, please. That's a good idea. Keep doing that. Share and then tag TMZ. I really appreciate it. TMZ posted the video of my mom finding out that her son died. She's rolling on the ground, screaming the most horrendous screams that you could even imagine. It's horrendous. I cannot believe that one of the biggest news channels would put something like that out for entertainment. I don't understand how they were allowed to do that. Please, tag. Yeah, keep it up. Share it. Thank you. I would love to get a supervisor, a hold of a supervisor. If you guys know anybody that works there, or eventually they'll see this, and I'm asking TMZ to please take it down. But that is, terrible. Absolutely vile. Poor. It was poor in taste. One moment, I gotta let my dog out. 1 second. But that is, terrible. Absolutely vile. Poor. It was poor in taste. One moment, I gotta let my dog out. 1 second. It was poor in taste. One moment, I gotta let my dog out. 1 second. extra large, demanding German Shepherds need constant attention. Thank you guys. Keep tagging TMZ. Take down the video of my mom finding out. It's horrendous, so distasteful. I can't believe that that's legal. Another thing I want to do with this podcast is try to find a way. This is another reason I needed to establish a platform, is I needed to find a way to stop this type of stuff from going on. I don't have a big enough following yet, but eventually, hopefully I do, and then maybe I could spread awareness, to the next time something like this happens. Thank you guys. Thanks for all the support. Thank you for the gifts, the kind words in here. I really appreciate it. Did they find anything in Dom's house? She seemed very pushy to get in the house. No, I don't know what I don't think so. They both were trying to put in neutral. That's why Davion was in the front. Yeah, maybe. That is Dom would be proud of you. I think about the biggest thing is like, what would Dom think if I did this? Or how would he feel? And my thing is like, as long as like, if he knows how this has affected us. So in my mind, I know he's saying anything that makes you feel better, anything you want to, you know what I'm saying? Please do, because he knows how horrible we feel and how terrible this is for us. And I just know that he's saying, you guys do whatever the heck you need to do to feel even a tiny bit of relief from missing me. It's unbelievably sad. It's the most disgusting, terrible thing that's ever happened to us. I don't wish this upon my worst enemy. This has completely shattered all of our lives. I was saying earlier, like, I find it bittersweet that right now the entire world knows who my brother was. Not personally or anything, but like, they know his name, they know his face, and he deserves nothing less. You guys could start a new hashtag for me too, as I do the hashtag LLDD, Long Live Dom and Davion. That started right after they passed. If you guys want to hashtag that would be awesome. LLDD. Long Live Dom and Davion. Is there any proof that you can share that Dom was trying to break up with her? I don't need proof. I don't lie. I actually hate liars. I despise lying. I despise liars. The proof is in, if you would like to look yourself, I'll never go and read his text messages, but they're all over the internet. You could see from the case files from the police, their text messages back and forth. She was, I believe, selling herself. Like they were breaking up on and off. So no, I don't need proof. And I don't think that was like, I don't know. Do I have proof? I don't feel like I need proof. My brother's not here. I have no reason to lie. I had no issue with Kenzie before she cold-blooded murdered my brother. I don't know what I would need proof for or why I would lie. I'm reading more comments. Yeah, they also didn't jump out. Yeah, because they were going too fast. I couldn't imagine. My question wasn't about him dying. It was because I want to know where she got all that money. I didn't know she had money. She will make money off a book she wants to write. She's not allowed. Yeah, sue her for wrongful death. She's not allowed to make money off of. I'm going to try to pass a law, or I'm going to start a bill that I'm really trying to establish a platform with my podcast. Please share, like, spread the word. I'm going to pass, and I've said this before, I don't really know how lives work. I'm not a social media person. I'm just trying to build a platform. One of the reasons is I'm going to try to get this law passed called Dom's Law. I just thought of it like a couple weeks ago. Starts as a bill or whatever. We're going to try to get it passed. But basically, there's a Son of Sam's law in the state of Ohio where you can't profit off of a crime that you've committed. But that was written a long time ago. They didn't take into account social media nowadays. That where she can get out and not, inadvertently have income from it, but she can, there's ways around it now with social media. Like, look at Gypsy Rose. You're not allowed to profit from your crime, but you know damn well that the second she gets out, if she ever gets out, that people are going to be searching for her, and the clicks. A lot of, elderly people and things like that, they don't understand, and I want to bring awareness to this. When you click on stuff, you give her attention, you say her name, you give her attention. I have done it a little bit. I don't want to be a hypocrite or anything, but just to, my goal is to establish a platform to take her down, like to make sure that she stays in jail, to make sure to put out awareness that, for people not to send her money or to click on her page or her parents' page or her friends' pages that all say terrible things about my brother, and they just don't care. They put my brother down and my family down to benefit themselves and to try to make her look better, and it's disgusting. Dominic's not here to defend himself, and that's where I step in. No, the slipper did not get stuck. They debunked that in the trial, and I'm trying to think of what it was. I'll scientific, like, mechanical experts there and things like that, and there were certain there was a reason for that, and I don't want to give you guys any misinformation. Are we Italian? Yes. Italian very much. Let me keep reading. Let me see. Do you think Rosie knows more than she's saying? I think she's a liar, and that's my opinion. Actually, I know it because I've heard some of the things she has to say, but like the one she said in the thing about them not fighting, I mean, have you guys seen the text messages? Have you listened to the video that they played at the trial, or that's on the internet, that you can hear how she talked to him? We know damn well that they fought. My brother's best friends have told me a million times they fought. Like, that's just a flat out lie. One second. I don't know what this co-host stuff is, guys. I'm new to social media. I don't know this. I'm sorry. So anyways, I'm just learning how TikTok works. Sorry for your loss. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Please share, bring awareness. Please tag TMZ, share to TMZ, take down that video. It was the most disgusting. I can't believe that. I don't know if we can sue them. I don't know. I'm going to look into it because that's terrible. Posted documents in my comments section. Thank you. The proof is in the messages. Right. My oldest brother's name is Dominic. Your brother reminds me of mine. May he rest in peace. Thank you so much. I see people all the time that remind me of Dom too. Like, it'll be a kid with curly hair that's skinny. And, that happens sometimes when people pass, and it's like, it just is so, depressing. I started writing a book too before Dominic passed. I started writing a book about my life and how, crazy it is and stuff. And then, it started off about, it was like, hi, my name's Christine Rousseau. I am one in 7. And then it goes into my siblings. And then Dom passed, and I just tossed it out because I was like, it had to be rewritten. I can't swear, and it's hard for me, so I'm stumbling over my words, but it's terrible. Do you think she wanted to kill herself? I think she snapped and couldn't control her psychotic head and didn't care at the moment. So she probably got so angry she didn't care at that second. She only got 15 years because, I don't know, maybe because she's I don't know. I thought it was completely unfair, as you guys, a lot of people would agree. 15 years is absolutely nothing compared to what she's done. That punishment did not fit the crime at all. She'll remain in jail. Even the judge said, that she doesn't see her getting out in 15 because she's a complete narcissist, sociopathic psychopath. And if she ever did, I pray for the world because she is a threat to society. And I hope that any man that she's ever with or anything knows to be very careful. Please like, share, and help me establish this platform so that I can help battle this misinformation that's circulating all over the internet. The age gap, you guys, I don't even know if I went through that. The age gap that I've been seeing all over. Dominic was like 2 years and some change older than her. He was a junior. She was a freshman. When I was in school, it was like, seniors dated freshmen. It's like, it wasn't weird. It wasn't, people are saying like 18 and 13, and I've seen, 12 and 17, stuff like that. That is not true. If I have to post birth certificates, I will. I will be, with my podcast and my platform and my channels now, I'm going to be taking down and battling all of this misinformation. One lie, one by one. This is my job as an older sister, hence my podcast name, The Big Sister Unhinged. Follow, share, like, thank you for your gifts. Was there a fire at Dom's grave? There was. We have since put many cameras up. There was. The police investigated and we never found out if it was intentional or who did it. If so, that was, I can't say, horrendous. This has been terrible. It's been absolutely terrible. It was like a week before his 1-year death date. It was July, maybe June of 2023. And a family member went to the cemetery, of course, as she does every morning, and it was on fire. And you could imagine the terror. And man, life is just, she ruined all of us. Do you know what Blair and Dom spoke about that night? I do, but that is not for me to talk about. That is my brother's best friend, one of my brother's best friends. It's personal. If he wants to talk about it, that's on him. I cannot, and I will not share things like that when that's like personal, like last words and things like that. I just think it's insensitive of me, and like I can't. I'm willing to talk about Dom and everything I went through with him and things like that, but these young boys that were my brother's best friends, like they are so devastated. It's like they lost their brother. Like they are our brothers. Like they are family. And it's so sad that even like his best friends, like they have to go through this. Kyle, Blair, Ashish, like my heart breaks. I think about you guys and I cry constantly, just along with my brother, but like it's not fair. And I think about like when they get married and stuff, and Dom can't be at their funeral. Like, will they have like a chair for him? So that makes me really sad. Sorry guys. Let me see. So there's certain things that, that's not, sorry. That's just one of the things I think about is I had a dream right after Dom passed, and it was at one of his friend's weddings. We were at one of his friend's weddings, and Dominic was arguing with he was like, in my dream, he was like saying something to his mom. He was upset that he couldn't get married or something. You know what I'm saying? It was like, that's the way I interpreted it. And I don't know, it just stuck with me. So and I think often, like I said, like when his best friends get married and he should have been fucking their wedding, like, I want to be there, and I love them, and I text them I love them all the time, and I really love you guys so much. Being with them, like Blair will come over, and I try to have him over as often as I can. and we'll sit here and talk all night about Dom, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm so glad that he is who he is. Blair's fantastic. But he'll come over and tell me stories all night about my little brother and the funny things that they used to do, you know what I'm saying? And I do the same, and we just sit there all night and could talk all night. Blair's actually dating my cousin Abby, and they've been dating for like, I don't know, probably a year now. I wish Dom could see it. I know Dom sees it, but I find it hilarious and I love it because Abby's a sweet girl and Blair's amazing too. But yeah, like my heart breaks for those boys. It breaks my heart that Dom didn't get to make it, like that he don't get to grow old with them. It's the most. Blair does have. He has Instagram and it's like 4 pints. Check out my Instagram. You'll see him. I'll repost it. I repost his stuff sometime. And he's probably, I follow him, but it's I'm the big sister unhinged across all platforms, and then he is 4 pints, I think, or something like that. But he posts some really good stuff, and like I actually search for every day. I make sure to check my Instagram to see if like Kyle or Blair post a picture of Dom or like a video I haven't seen of him. So and then they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't mean to make you sad," or like, but it's like, nope, I look for them posting new pictures of my brother all the time, and I keep it coming. I love them so dearly. I've heard bits and pieces of her recorded conversation with her mom. I started to listen to it a tiny bit for the podcast. My cousin was playing it for me. I have like a co-host with this podcast, and she's helping me so much. Becky, I love you. Thank you so much. But she said, Christine, I think you need to hear some of these calls. I got into like a couple minutes. You could watch the episodes. They are the most disgusting things. I could only make it in a couple minutes. It's thank you guys for the gifts. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what all these things are, but I appreciate it. I keep seeing a cardinal. I love that. My prayers are with your family. Did they question or bring up the car hitting more of the passenger side? No, I think that's just, it's a good point to bring up. Like, I honestly think that she was, and this is just me, it's not facts or anything, I'm not a car expert. I think it was, she just tried to smash into the building. I don't know if she did that on purpose or not, and I can't say, I obviously don't know for sure, I'm not a car expert, but like, I know that when she hit the curb, it like flew up a little bit or something, I don't know, but sorry for your loss. Should have given a harder sentence. Yeah, I agree. Her friends interviews for the Netflix documentary. Don't even get me started. That's why I started an entire podcast. Good question. I thought they were ridiculous, and I'm glad you called them her friends because they are not Dom and Davion's. And if you watch my podcast, I go into that. It's infuriating to have people sit there and say they're my brother's best friends and then slander their names all over the place, just throw them and rip them through the mud. It just is, it's terrible, terrible people. That's why I started, another huge reason why I started the podcast. Even if she didn't do it on purpose, she killed 2 people, correct. Going 100 miles an hour, like 15 years was nothing. Like, and that's another thing. The her and her family, they created these, free Kenzie page, and they allow all these people, the entire world, to talk badly about my brother, and all these lies and all this misinformation and it's just like, what, to save yourself of getting out of prison a little bit early? Like, if he was the love of your life or your boyfriend of 4 years, like, I don't see any remorse. She doesn't act like a guilty person whatsoever, and she does have appeals coming up. So you guys, we also have to, you please remember that this isn't over, because there are always other appeals, even though people only think you only get a few of them. She just filed another one last week. We're getting ready for another hearing. She can potentially win another appeal. So she can like appeal appeals, and it's a constant appeal, and you never know with, how technicalities are, like, or anything. So you never know, but like, So I have to be very careful of what I say. I am just speculating. I built this just to try to stick up for my brother. I started a podcast. So yeah. Even if she didn't do it, yeah, I just read that one. Did your dad seek Dom? Hold on. What's your IG? I can't find it. It's The Big Sister Unhinged. My name is Christine Russo. She started dating people in jail, no remorse. Yeah, she just cares about her hair and her makeup. I find that crazy. I am a single mom of 2, and actually I washed my hair today. Like, I couldn't imagine. She just, to me, when you care about your hair and makeup so much, it is like, when it becomes an obsession, I think she's like, no, I know she's narcissistic and self-absorbed, but unlike I've never seen in my entire life. Like, who goes to prison and is worried about having lipstick on? I don't know. That's just me. To each their own, I guess, but not her. She doesn't deserve any leniency. She's a murderer. The name of my podcast is The Big Sister Unhinged. Again, thank you all for joining me. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for listening to me. I was talking about going live on Sunday at 8. I have to start getting these interview questions ready, but I'm going to be talking to and hearing for the first time from the 2 girls that were in prison with my brother's murderer. I have not listened to anything that they have to say. You are the best big sis. Thank you so much. Dom would be proud of what you're doing. Yes, I really, really hope so. I hope I'm doing enough. Does anyone know Blair's TikTok? Cripe. Somebody drop Blair's TikTok in there. He has an IG too, and it's he makes music and he's freaking fantastic, and he's just a sweet, sweet boy. That was one of my brother's best friends, one of the last people to see him. And again, I don't want to share his personal stories of like the last time he's seen him, but it will make you cry. And coming from, grown men now, I call them boys because they're younger than me and they're my little brother's friends, but like these men, crying of the last time they saw him and how, the hugs and like, it's terrible. It's terrible. Everybody involved, she ruined everybody's life. So yeah, her 15 years it's laughable. I hope she rots in there. I really do. I feel bad it ever happened. My brother should be alive. Davion should be alive. Like the Flanagans, nobody deserves this. She ruined everybody. Yeah, her 15 years is absolutely a joke. Thank you guys. I'm really seeing a lot of nice things. Lie detector test. I highly doubt that Kenzie would ever agree to a lie detector test because, again, if you guys look up the definition of a narcissist, they'll never take accountability and never get caught in a lie. Like, they are expert liars. I guarantee you. You know what? I was thinking. I've thought of this. I'm always wondering if maybe one day in the mail she'll write my dad or something like a remorseful apology, something. I don't know, it's just something I think of. Is she ever gonna be sorry? And I know if she is, it's just gonna be fake, but she can't feel sorry because she's too self-absorbed. She's a bad person inside, and there are sometimes you can't fix that, and she is one of them. She's a bad seed. Unfortunately, my brother was a very caring and kind person, and she stuck her disgusting claws right into him, as narcissistic, sociopathic psychopaths will do to empathetic, nice, caring people. Look for Blair on my Instagram. I think he's 4 pints something. But if you look at my follower, or look at who I follow, cripe. How can I share his thing? Somebody drop Blair's TikTok or Instagram. Oh, there it goes. Hydro's in my drink. Yeah, he's a trip. Thank you for that. It takes two to tango. They obviously, hold on, I want to read that. They obviously loved each other. He was steady trying to break up with her, maybe at first. And again, at 20 years old, you don't really know what love is. And if you've ever been in an abusive or toxic relationship, you know that you definitely don't know what love is. You know what abuse is. So no, maybe he did it first. I'm sure he was infatuated in love. He was young, you know what I mean? But like, thanks for the 1,000,000 likes. That is insane. I just saw that. Thank you guys. But this comment, it takes two to tango. They obviously loved each other. Well, she is a psychopath. It doesn't take, what do you mean by takes two to tango? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Like, yeah, maybe they loved each other at once, but I don't know what you're trying to say. I really don't like any insensitive comments whatsoever. He was manipulated. Thank you. Hold on. No, we had nothing to do with not requesting a jury trial. We had nothing to do with that. Hold on one second, please. I was trying to read something else. Let me see. Yeah, nothing to do with the jury trial. How do you feel about her communicating with her mom through gibberish? Just goes to show you guys, like, people that aren't hiding anything don't have to do that. So actually, I have a really close, like pretty close family friends that his name's Paul. He just messaged me on Instagram the other day and he was like, Christine, my family talks that talk. And I was like, what? I had no idea. He said, yeah, we talk it when their grandpa taught them. They talk it when they don't want people to know what they're talking about. So I had no idea. But so I guess I think it's just a form of, hiding. How do you feel about calling your cousin? All right, I'm terrible at calling people back. Lydia. All right, she caught me red-handed using my phone. I didn't call her back. I'm sorry. I have been so crazy, you guys. I've been trying. So this is the first time I sat down in like a week since the movie came out and had a minute. And I have so I jumped on live because I can't sit and think about what happened or reality. So I've been keeping myself completely busy nonstop. Lydia, I'm going like all through the night. I'm trying to get this podcast off the ground. I'm trying to battle the trolls. I'm trying to put the truth out there. I'm trying to take down TMZ. Keep sharing, keep tagging TMZ. Tell them to take down their video. I'm trying to worry about my dad being depressed, my other siblings sad, like worrying about people showing up at the cemetery now, wanting to talk to my private family members, that aren't prepared to be talking to strangers yet, or ever. It's like, yeah, if you could report it or tag them and tell them take it down, I would. It's more than appreciated. A couple more questions, and then I gotta feed my dogs. Dom had the prettiest eyes. They look so light in his photos. Okay. Dom is a spitting image of, my daughter is a spitting image of Dominic. If you guys look at my podcast, I put up the pictures. So I have a mini Dom, who is my daughter. They they have the same missing big tooth. They have the same voice. They have the same hair. Like, she has brown eyes. That's the only difference. But Dom is a spitting image of my grandfather and my grandpa's brother. Like they look like twins. So Dominic, I have a little Dom. My daughter looks just like him. It's so bittersweet. My dad will be like, oh my God, Christine, did you just hear her say that? Like, the way she laughed, that was Dom. Like, and I'm like, I swear it's like having a little Dom. It is completely bittersweet. It is so sad. But it's also amazing, and it's more sad because I wish that he was here to hear this. He died when she was 2 or 3. The kids don't understand. This has been so hard for them, the entire family. I'll show you guys something else too, and then I'm gonna end it. But please, you guys, join me again. I do want to show you one thing. I'll let you in, but I want you guys to join Sunday. my live will be the real big one at 8, where I'll be interviewing, thank you for the gifts, interviewing 2 of the people that were in prison with my brother, with my brother's murderer. This is my dad's girlfriend made this for us. It's The Love Between Brothers and Sisters is Forever. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm more open about talking to Dom, and I think it is very therapeutic for me. It keeps me busy. But check how beautiful that is. There's, my siblings. They did a really good job of having me with my bun. I usually have a bun up on my head, and but you see Dom with the angel wings. So yeah. But I'll let you guys in on how I feel, me sharing I can only speak on me, so and that's what I'll do. I'm just here to try to defend my brother. I appreciate you guys so very much. The support is amazing. Again, if you guys my mission today, every day I have a different mission and different something to take down, but my mission today is to take down that TMZ video. Nobody should be sharing that video of my mom finding out Dom passed. It's not entertainment. I don't understand why that's allowed online. That's my mission for today. Also, I debunked the age gap, guys. It was 2 years and some change, a freshman and a junior. It's not weird. Another thing at 2:53, we text, and Lydia, my cousin's in here. She just sent me a picture, because I have it in my phone too, but even my cousin sent me, Lydia sent me a screenshot. My dad sends her random I love yous at different times. It's just something we do. There's no, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that's not accurate, or it doesn't mean anything. We did that all the time. Please, guys, remember to be sensitive and remember, mindful of what you say. We are grieving. We are reading these. We are reading these comments barely, but we see them. Be sensitive, please. Somebody said Kim Kardashian just denied to be her lawyer. Is that true? Did she actually go and say that? Because that was her. That's another thing, is Kenzie's always wanted fame. That's her and that little gross clique of girls. They've always wanted. That's all they care about. The most disgusting human beings ever. That's all they care about. And so that's another, I said, I'll say this a million times, my goal here, another mission, is to make sure that she doesn't, if she does ever get out, God forbid, that she does not become the next Gypsy Rose. I'm trying to pass by. Thank you, KJ's Journey. Thank you, sending so much love. I have said this before, over my dead body, will she get out and have fame and fortune, for killing my brother. So my goal is I want to, there's a bill that I'm going to start working on, to, something called Dom's Law, where she can't profit off of his murder, on social media. I know there's ways around the Son of Sam's Law, so I'll be looking for help if there are any other attorneys that specialize in making bills or laws. Please email me at thebigsisterunhinged@outlook.com. Please share. I will start a petition for this. I'm going to be working on it. Please share my videos. Again, my goal, my mission, I am on a mission. I haven't slept in 6 days. Because I am constantly worried about misinformation online, about, the next appeal, about protecting my other family's feelings. I feel bad I did the Netflix movie. I was telling everybody earlier, I waited till the very last minute. They had to fly back in, I think, into the country because they were done shooting. And I had denied the interview for the longest, for months, for 6 months, a long, long time, and I said no, up until the last second. I was I knew I'd regret not doing it, but now I kind of regret doing it because of all the hate I'm getting about, oh, you're just profiting off your brother. But the kids at my son's school, their parents are saying terrible things to their kids, like, oh, she just wants to make money. And I'm like, like, I cry 5 times a day, like you guys don't know me. You don't know my family. Not all of you. I appreciate all the support. I'm talking about the trolls and these terrible people at my son's school, like, and that he goes to school with, but they're just the most jealous, bitter people. Like, I lost my brother. I lost not only my brother, but I lost my dad. I lost my mom, my stepmom. I lost my sibling. Like, none of us are the same. We are broken. We are ruined. We lost everything. We lost everything that day. Everything. My kids lost a happy mom. Like, fuck. I can't swear on here, so I'm going to continue reading comments because that is upsetting. Your honest perspective helps us understand Dom. Yeah, thank you. And that is another reason why I'm doing this. Like, again, I was saying all the people out there saying that I'm doing this for money or like, what do they call it? Like clout or something. Like, I have been silent for 4 years, while the entire world, this was a case beforehand, like, that was highly televised. The entire world sit back and talks about my brother, and they don't. I feel like it's my job to tell the world the truth, like, put it into our perspective. You know what I'm saying? Give you guys the whole picture. You only see a little bit of it. You saw the movie. It's not the whole story. There's so much more the public doesn't know. For instance, I'll share a little piece with you, and then I'm done. I really have to feed the dogs, but like Natalie telling us, I think it was like 3 or 4 days that Kenzie was unconscious, but we all know now that within hours of her killing my brother and Davion, she sat in the hospital bed recording herself making TikToks and trying to get modeling gigs. But we sat here, we thought it was an accident for a while. We sat here and prayed at my home and prayed and cried for her to wake up. We didn't think she was going to live because her mother, Natalie, lied and told us that she was unconscious for days. But we know that that's not true. So why would you lie about that? There's a lot that the world doesn't know. And, that's why I'm doing this. So I've seen the worst people say things about me, and this being, I'm talking like my son is coming home from school saying kids in his classes, their jealous mothers are saying these terrible things. And like there are some really bad people out there. I'll leave it at that. I have, I think, a really good podcast where I go into all this. It's The Big Sister Unhinged. Please like, please follow, please share. I am not going to stop. I'm going to make sure that murderous psychopath remains in prison for her entire life. If it's the last thing I do, she will not profit off of my brother's murder. I will debunk any lies going on about him. I'm going to battle all the misinformation. I'm going to try to pass laws. I have a lot to do here. And I have my life to do it. I don't know. It's just, I'm on a mission. Maybe I should have renamed my podcast like On a Mission or something. We'll see. Anyway, Sunday, 8:00 Eastern time, because you guys are from all over the world. I will have Kat and Cheyenne, who are in prison with Mackenzie. I want to sit down and hear exactly what they say she was like. And I've heard some terrible things on how she acted in prison. I'm going to make sure it's recorded so I can play it for the parole board when it comes time for her for parole, because now we have witnesses that were in prison with her. She's never getting out. Just saying. Sunday live on TikTok for sure. YouTube for sure. I'm going to try Instagram, and I'm even going to try Facebook. I expect it to be like tons of people chiming in. I will be super, super nervous because I'm not big. I don't even post selfies. If you guys go back on all my social medias, you don't see, I'm not a big camera person at all. Yeah, the whole world. I know. Don't make me more nervous. Dom's Law. That's right. And it's like I had to be completely vulnerable and put everything aside for my brother. I swear to God, like my family, my dad is, like everyone's really, really proud and happy with what I've done, and I'll take that. So you guys, I hate to leave with 3 or 4,000 people in here. I really do, because I don't like to leave people hanging. That's just how I am. But I will see you guys. Thank you guys so much. Podcast name is The Big Sister Unhinged. You can find us, the full episodes, all over YouTube, and Instagram. I just started posting on Instagram. So basically there's the full, The Big Sister Unhinged on YouTube. I'm putting some clips on my TikTok, some clips on Facebook, things like that. I just sat down with Davion's sister. We did a 2-hour sit down. I just barely edited, just threw that on there. She's fantastic, but hashtag LLDD, long live Dom and Davion. Let's get Rosie canceled. Let's get TMZ now to take down that video. Like I said, I am on a mission. I will see you guys Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You all have a great night. Thank you guys so much for the gifts and all the support. Can't thank you enough. You are not, this is not, I have a lot of work to do, put it that way. All right, I'll see you guys later. Good night. Stay safe. You enough. You are not, this is not, I have a lot of work to do, put it that way. All right, I'll see you guys later. Good night. Stay safe.